Okay, you've made it to the end of the day, but it's not over yet. And this is not the time to rush. This is the time to slow down, make sure that you do all of your closing procedures correctly so that everything goes well and you have a smooth evening. Now, one way to do that, clerks, is by following your clerk's election night checklist. You find this inside your document folder. Remember, one side tells you how to open your precinct, the other side tells you how to close your precinct. So you want to follow these steps in order, check them off as they're completed. I would say hand this off to your assistant clerk or one of your inspectors and say, hey, hold on to this, make sure that we're doing everything correctly. It's also a good idea to kind of look that over throughout the day, just so that at the end of the night you have a good idea of what you need to do. So let's say that it's 7 o'clock, right? You know that the polls might not close right at 7. Remember that everybody who has arrived by 7 o'clock is allowed to vote. So it might be 7:15 or 7:30 by the time that last voter leaves. But when that last voter has left the precinct, then you can determine that the precinct is closed. Now, clerks, you and the VST have some important things to do. So you want to go over to that DS200 and stand there with the VST. And the first thing you guys are going to want to do is check that emergency bin to see if there are any ballots in there. Now, if there are any ballots in the emergency bin, that means that they could not be scanned earlier in the day. And at this point, the VST is going to try to scan them. Clerks, you need to be standing there as a witness while that process is taking place. If, for whatever reason, the ballot still will not scan, it will go inside this gold bag. And we'll talk a little bit more about this later on. All right, clerks, you're going to fill out the voted ballot transfer form along with the VST. And the main thing here is that you want to document the time that that last voter voted. And this is going to go inside your document folder. Now, once the VST has closed the polls and modem the results, they're going to print out these total tapes from the DS200s, 2 copies, and they're going to remove the jump drives. They're going to place those jump drives inside a media verification bag, and then the VST is going to go ahead and pack their media bag, seal it up. You guys are going to verify that together. Then they're going to head off to their drop-off site. But clerks and inspectors, you still have some work to do. Now, one thing that's new, clerks, is you're going to now be responsible for taking the voted ballots out of all of the DS200s. So what that means is you're going to need to use your key. Remember, it's on the black wristband. You're going to need to open up each main bin, each DS200 main bin, take out all of the voted ballots, okay? And that's the first thing that's going to be packed inside your blue ballot transporter bag. Now, while we're talking about packing, remember that inside your document folder, clerks, you have a clerk's election night packing list. And this tells you where every single thing goes. So it doesn't do for you to try to remember or try to figure out where to put things. You got a checklist. It tells you exactly what to do. So make sure that you use this, okay, inside your document folder. So let's talk about packing this blue ballot transporter bag. And this is a group project. So clerks, yes, it's your responsibility, but remember that everybody's going to sign their name on the card. So clerks, assistant clerks, inspectors, EVIT operators, everybody should be gathered around the table to watch how this goes down. So again, first thing that goes into this bag, all your voted ballots. Now what comes after that? Your green substitute provisional bag. And if you'll notice, there's a message on the back. It says, do not open. The only time that you would ever open this bag is if the governor or a judge determines that the county is going to have to keep the precincts open past 7 p.m. That's a very rare occurrence. So unless that happens, you keep this bag sealed up the way that you found it. Okay? The next bag that goes after that is your orange bag. And remember, assistant clerks, the provisional ballots are stored in here throughout the day. So you're going to have to take the seal off of this, open this bag up, and verify how many ballots are in here, because you're going to have to document that, assistant clerks, on your PM procedures form. So you want to close this back up, make sure you put a seal back on it, and that's going to be the next bag. And next we have the gold bag for any unscanned ballots. So we just talked about that, right? Just in case any of those ballots in the emergency bin could not be scanned, they're going to be placed inside this gold bag, zipped up and sealed. If you don't have anything in here, you don't have to worry about sealing it. Just leave the white seal on there. Okay, now we have 4 clear plastic pouches. Let's talk about these. The first one is for canceled vote by mail ballots. Can a voter drop off their vote by mail ballot at the precinct on election day? The answer to that is no, they cannot. If a voter wants to drop off their vote by mail ballot, they're going to need to bring that either to our office in downtown Fort Lauderdale, or they can bring it to our Lauderhill location. But they cannot leave them at the polling place because we have to physically receive them at the office by 7 o'clock p.m. And of course, you guys won't be leaving until 7:30 or 8 o'clock. So the ballot would not be counted. But if the voter has that ballot with them and they want to vote at the polling place, you can cancel that vote by mail ballot, give them a regular ballot, and let them vote. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to take that canceled vote by mail ballot, collect them all, put them in a clear plastic pouch that's labeled, seal them up, and that's what goes in the bag next. And the next bag is for spoiled ballots. Sometimes voters make a mistake on their ballot or they choose too many options, and if that's the case, they have 2 more chances to get a replacement ballot. So altogether, they have 3 chances. What you do with those spoiled ballots that they made the mistake on is you write spoiled in very large letters, collect those ballots throughout the day, zip it up, put a seal on this bag. And you also have a bag for spoiled provisional ballots. In case a provisional voter makes a mistake on their ballot or they decide not to complete the process, we have another clear pouch for that. You'll collect those throughout the day as well. Write spoiled on them, zip it up, put a seal on it. And the final bag is for your ballot stubs. Remember, for regular ballots, the stub is removed from the bottom and collected throughout the day. So you'll take all of those stubs at the end of the night, pack them into this clear bag, zip it up, put a seal on it, and pack it. You do not need to count the ballot stubs. There's no need for you to do that. Because what counts your voters for you? Your EVID, right? That tells you how many of your voters checked in. So your EVID totals ticket will tell you how many people checked in. Your DS200 totals tape will tell you how many people voted. So don't worry about counting your ballot stubs. So that's the last bag that goes in your blue ballot transporter bag. Now again, everybody should be watching this. You want to zip this bag up. And the key to packing this bag is to make sure that you pull the zipper till you can't pull it anymore, okay? Pull it all the way, and then you lay the little flap down. You heard that click. You want to grab one of these little small seals, okay? You take the 2 little feet with the numbers facing up, and you pop that in, okay? You're going to record that number on the card, and everybody's going to sign that card to say that the bag was packed properly. Now, once everybody has signed the card and you've got this blue ballot transporter bag packed, you want to collect your blank ballots inside all of your cardboard boxes. And you want to secure those boxes shut with some masking tape. You also want to grab your blank express vote cards in the white cardboard box. And all of this, clerks, will go back to the regional site with you. Now, you still have a couple of more items to pack, right? Clerks, some of you might have a media bag. Now, if you have a media bag, that means that you are responsible for the EVID jump drives. That means you are the lowest number precinct in your location, and you must get the EVID jump drives from your EVID operators and collect them, put them inside this blue pouch. Now, you'll also have a red pouch from your VST. Those 2 together must go into this clerk's media bag. You want to zip this up, put a seal on it, and this will be packed inside your DS200 main bin number 1. Another new thing, clerks, is you're going to be responsible for the zero and totals tape because the VST is leaving a little bit earlier. So you want to collect the zero tapes and the totals tapes from all DS200s, and you're going to pack these inside your document folder. But 1 copy of the DS200 totals tapes is going to have to be posted outside. That's now the clerk's responsibility. So you want to cut off the signatures because we don't want anyone's signature outside. So you want to remove that part and take this DS200 totals tape, 1 copy from each machine, and post that outside. So in addition to that blue clerk's media bag, you're also going to pack your cell phone, your provisional ballot log, and your ballot style tents inside that DS200, and you want to close and seal that. Your document folder, clerks, is going to go inside your blue clerk's bag. With all of your completed forms. Now, those completed forms are very, very important. Most importantly, payroll sheet, okay, that everybody signed, and any checks that you didn't distribute during the day. That's going to go inside your document folder. We also need your voting passes. Please do not forget your voting passes. There is a labeled plastic bag inside your document folder. It says voting passes on there. Those should go inside your document folder. Your document folder should be packed inside your clerk's bag. So clerks, everything that you see right here is going to the regional site with you. Let's just recap what that is. You've got your blue ballot transporter bag. You've got your blank ballots in the cardboard boxes. You've got your blank express vote cards in the white box. And you've got your clerk's blue bag. All right, clerks, remember, we are paying you guys on election night. It is very important that when you get that transporter's envelope in the morning, that you do not open it until the end of the evening. Once all of the tasks are completed, then you can open that envelope and distribute their checks to your workers. Your VST is not going to get the check from you, clerks. Your VST is going to get their check once they drop their items off at their drop-off site. Thank you guys so much for watching these videos. On behalf of myself, Ben, and Noel, your training coordinators, and the entire Supervisor of Elections office, we want to wish you health and safety and have a great election day.